No food, no friends, only her clothes. The wind was cold. The sky was dark. The girl walked slowly through the streets of Ironfall Colony. Her feet were bare. Her body was thin. Her skin, light blue with silver lines, was cracked like old stone. She looked like she had not eaten for days. Her name was Aria. She was not human. She was from a small alien planet far away. But now, she was alone. No food, no friends. Only her clothes. Aria's spaceship had crashed 3 weeks ago. Everyone else from her ship had died. She was the only one left. When she woke up on this planet, she thought someone would help her. No one did. Ironfall Colony was not a kind place. It was full of traitors, thieves, and soldiers. People walked fast. Machines watched the streets. No one cared about a girl with dirty skin and broken shoes. Aria tried to ask for help. She used the little human language she had learned. Food, please. Hungry. People ignored her. Some pushed her. One man threw a drink can at her face. She sat in an alley and cried. Her stomach hurt. Her lips were dry. She could feel her bones. She looked down at her clothes, a simple silver suit from her planet. It was all she had now. That night, a man came. He wore a red jacket and had a long beard. He smiled, but not kindly. "You hungry alien girl?" he asked. Aria nodded. He held out a piece of bread. Fresh, warm, soft. "Come with me," he said. "You want food? You pay." I have no money," she whispered. The man looked at her from top to bottom. "You have something else." Aria did not understand at first. Then she saw his eyes. His smile. She understood. "No," she said, backing away. "Then stay hungry," he said, and began to leave. Her stomach made a sound. Her hands shook. She looked at the bread. Then, at the man. She followed him. The next morning, Aria sat outside the same alley. Her silver suit was gone. She wore a dirty coat now. Her body was bruised. Her eyes were empty. She had eaten, but she felt colder inside. She looked at her reflection in a broken glass. "This is what I am now," she said softly. People passed by. Some laughed. Some stared. One threw a coin at her feet. She didn't pick it up. Her legs stopped working. She lay down next to a pile of garbage. Her body gave up. She didn't want to fight anymore. "If someone finds me here, maybe they'll throw me away," she thought. She closed her eyes. Footsteps, not many. Just one pair. Someone stopped in front of her. She didn't open her eyes. A voice said, "Are you alive?" It was a deep voice. Calm, human. Aria opened her eyes slowly. A man stood above her. He wore a black jacket with military patches. His face had a scar under one eye. He looked serious, but not cruel. "Can you move?" he asked. She didn't answer. He knelt down, took off his backpack, opened a pack of water and held it to her lips. She drank. Then, he wrapped a thin blanket around her. She looked at him, confused. "You want something?" she asked weakly. He shook his head. "Not from you. You need help." He picked her up gently. As he carried her away, her head rested against his chest. For the first time in days, she felt warm in a small room, far from the city center. Aria woke up again. She was on a bed. Real bed. A heater hummed softly in the corner. There was food on the table, clean water. Clothes. She sat up quickly, afraid. The man from before sat on a chair, drinking tea. She gasped. "Where am I?" "Safe," he said. "Eat something." She looked at the food. "Bread, soup, fruit." "I can't pay you," she said. "Don't want payment." Tears came to her eyes, but she wiped them away. He stood and walked to the door. "I'll be outside. If you run, I won't stop you. But if you want to live, eat." He walked out. Aria sat there, shaking. She picked up the bread. And for the first time in weeks, she cried while eating. Darkness. That's all Aria felt at first. Soft breathing, warm air, a strange silence. No city noise. No people yelling. No one watching. She opened her eyes. The ceiling was made of wood. There were no bright lights. No security drones. No smells of oil or blood. She was lying on a bed, clean, real. She sat up quickly. Her heart raced. Last time she woke up in a strange place. Something bad had happened. But this was different. There was food on a metal plate. Real food. Soup. Bread. A yellow fruit. Water. Aria's hands shook. Her stomach growled, but she didn't touch it. "Where am I?" she whispered. A voice answered from the corner. "Calm, deep. You're safe." She turned fast. A man sat on a chair, arms crossed. Same one who picked her up in the alley. He wore a black jacket, boots covered in dust, and had a strange look in his eyes. Not cruel, not kind, just tired. Ariya backed up on the bed. Her voice was sharp, afraid. What do you want from me? The man raised his hand slowly. Nothing, just eat. She stared. You don't want anything. He blinked. I'm not like the others. She didn't believe him. 30 minutes earlier, when the man found her in the alley, she looked half dead, her skin cold, lips dry, barely breathing. He had seen many things in his life. Alien soldiers, dying civilians, broken warbits, but something about her made him stop. She looked like a child, even if she wasn't human. He scanned her body. No weapons, no wounds, no ID tag, just broken pride. He gave her water. She barely drank. When he wrapped the blanket around her, she whispered something. Why? He didn't answer. He just picked her up. The people around him watched. Some laughed. Hey, soldier boy. She's not your type. Careful. She might bite. He ignored them. He carried her away. Back to the present area finally. Reached for the bread. Slowly, carefully. Like someone might slap it away. She took a small bite. It tasted like peace. The man stood and walked toward the door. I'll give you time rest. When you're stronger, you can leave. Wait, she said. He turned. What's your name, Yolan? He replied. You're military. She asked. Not anymore. She looked down. I don't understand. Why did you help me? He paused, then said quietly. You looked like someone I once failed to save. And he left the room. Hours passed. Arya washed her face. Wore the clean clothes he gave her. A simple shirt, pants, soft boots. She looked in the mirror. She didn't recognize herself. The bruises on her skin reminded her of the night before, but the warmth in her chest came from now. She walked out of the room, found Yalan sitting near a small fire, looking at a map. He didn't look up, just said, You eat. Yes, good, you'll need your strength. For what? He looked at her. Someone is hunting you. She froze. I don't know who you are, he continued, but you're not just a refugee. Her hands trembled. I don't know what you mean. You have a tracker, hidden under your skin. I scanned it while you slept. It's tech. Arya went pale. I didn't put it there, she whispered. I know, he said. But now you're in danger, and so am I. Outside, a satellite dish turned silently toward the sky. A signal blinked red dot in a control room far away. A bounty alert appeared on screen. Target, female. Unknown species. Asset status. HIGHRISK. Reward, 100,000 credits alive. 50,000 dead. Back at the house, Yalan poured water into a metal cup. You can stay the night, he said, but tomorrow, you decide. Run alone, or let me help you. Arya looked at him for a long time. She remembered all the faces that had lied, all the hands that had hurt, all the nights she begged for safety. And now this man, this human kindness without asking for anything. She didn't trust it, but she wanted to. She sat down across from him, took the cup of water. Her voice was small. I want to live. Yalan nodded. Then don't run. Start with a silent scene. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Jalen sat alone, staring at the table. A black screen glowed in front of him. His old military device, cracked, dusty, still working. He had turned it on out of habit. But what he saw made his blood go cold. Bounty alert. Level red target. Unknown female. Blue skin. Off-world origin. Reward. 50,000 credits. Dead. 100,000. Credits. Alive last seen. Ironfall colony. Outer sector 9. Caution. Possibly danger. Yalan didn't blink. The face on the screen, bruised, tired, eyes half closed, was Arya. He had just given her food. He had just given her shelter. And now, he had a choice. Meanwhile, in the other room, Arya sat by the window, looking at the stars. Her hand touched the glass. Her body still ached. But her heart, it felt warm for once. She thought about the bread, the bed, the clean water. She had not known kindness like this before. But she didn't know. Yolan was watching her face on a bounty screen. She didn't know how valuable she was to dangerous people, and she didn't know how close death was creeping. Flashback. 2 years ago, Yalan stood in a military base. A young alien boy about 10 years old was crying inside a metal cage. Help me, the boy whispered. I didn't do anything. Yalan had turned away. He followed orders. He didn't look back. That night, The boy was taken to a lab, and Yalen never saw him again. Since then, Yalen had left the army. He never forgave himself. Back to present now. Another alien was in his care. Another innocent dot, and this time, he would not look away. He turned off the screen. He erased the alert. But it was too late. Somebody else had already seen it. Far away, in a smoky barrier, group of mercenaries watched the same alert. One of them laughed. 100,000 for that little alien girl. Easy money. Another cleaned his blade. Alive, it says. Yeah, said the leader, grinning. But dead is faster. They stood up. They had her location. They were already on the move. At the house, Arya walked into the room. You look serious, she said softly. Jalen didn't speak at first. Then he looked at her. I need to ask you something, he said. She nodded slowly. You're not just some lost girl, are you? She froze. What do you mean? I saw your face on the bounty list. Her knees went weak. Yalen caught her before she fell. I didn't tell anyone, he said. But they'll come. Mercenaries. Hunters. People with guns and no soul. Why? She whispered. Why are they doing this to me? Because someone thinks you're dangerous, he said. Or important. Arya looked at her hands. There's something inside me, she whispered. Something they want. Cut 2. Mercenary ship flying over Ironforth. Leader checks his gun. Target's close. Heat scan says to life forms in one building. Let's not waste time, says another dot. They land silently. Back in the house, Jalen hands Arya a bag. You have 5 seconds to decide, he says. You run, or you fight. I've never fought anyone, she says. Then learn fast. He tosses her a small pulse blade. I won't let them take you. Arya clutches the weapon. She's shaking. Then she nods. I won't let them take you either. Outside, boots hit the ground. 4 shadows approach. Guns ready. One of them whispers into a comms device. We've found the target. Inside, Arya stands behind the door. Her breath is short. Her grip is tight. Jalen checks. His gun loads the last charge cell. They'll come through fast, he says. Stay low. Don't hesitate. The lights flicker. A sound at the door. A loud bang. The first mercenary kicks the door in your lawn. Fires. Arya screams. And the war begins. A door crashes down. Gunshots echo. The walls shake. Arya grabs Jalen's arm. As they run through the back of the burning house. Behind them, mercenaries shout. One screams as a trap explodes. Arya's heart pounds in her chest. They run into the darkness. Through mud. Through wire fences. Through silence. And still, she doesn't understand one thing. Why is this human helping her? Flash to earlier that night. Yalen had just handed her a knife. She held it like it would bite her. I don't even know how to use this, she whispered. Pointy end goes into bad people, he said dryly. Even then, she didn't understand him. He was human. She was alien. He had no reason to protect her. But now, here they were, running for their lives. Back to present, after the escape they hide in a broken tunnel. A collapsed mining route. No light, only wet stone and dripping water. Arya's hands tremble. Her voice cracks. Why? Yalen looks at her, confused. Why? What? Why are you helping me? She sounds angry, not scared. Angry. I'm just some alien girl with a price on her head. You could have sold me. Taken the money. Lived happy. Yalen sits down. He's quiet for a long time. Then he says, because I've made bad choices before. Flashback, a long time ago. Yalen once handed over a scared boy to the military. He didn't ask why the boy was locked in chains. He just followed orders. And that boy never came back. Since that day, Yalen had seen that boy's face in every dream. Now, he saw it in Arya too. Back in the tunnel, Yalen finally speaks. I used to be a soldier. I followed orders. I hurt people like you. Because someone told me it was right. Arya listens, still breathing hard. And now, she asks. Now I don't follow anyone, he says. Now I save what I can. She stares at him. No one ever tried to save me before? He looks her in the eyes. Then let me be the first. Outside the tunnel, mercenaries regroup. Any sign of them? No. But the scan says they went underground. Then we follow. The leader checks. His rifle. If she's worth 100,000 credits, maybe she's worth dying for. They drop down into the tunnels. Back inside, deeper in the caves, Arya and Yalen keep walking. The walls are narrow. The path twists like a maze. She finally breaks the silence. There's something I haven't told you. Yolan glances over. Figured. She stops walking. I wasn't supposed to survive the crash, she says. He frowns. What do you mean? Arya lifts her shirt sleeve. Just a little under her skin, a faint blue glow. Jalen steps back. What is that? Her voice shakes. A chip. Not just any chip. It holds a code, a weapon. Something my people made. Something dangerous. Why you? Because I was born for it. A living storage device. I was a project, not a person. Yolan doesn't speak for a while. Then he asks, can it hurt people? If activated. Yes, she says. It could end thousands. He breathes slowly. And you don't want that. She shakes her head hard. No. That's why I ran. That's why they want me dead. Yalan looks at her again. Not like a soldier. Not like a bounty. Not like an alien, just like someone scared. You're not a weapon, he says. You're someone they tried to turn into one. Suddenly Metal Clank's voices echo from deeper in the cave. They found us, Yolan says. He pulls out a flare and throws it down the other path. Boom. Smoke floods the area. Time to keep running, he says. Arya grabs his hand. This time they run again. Together, scene fades out as their footsteps vanish into the dark. They made me. Not born, not built, but something in between. Soft hum. Her heartbeat echoing. Faint blue glow under her skin. Arya lies on the cave floor, chest rising fast. Her arm glows again. Yolan kneels beside her, scanning the light coming from her veins. It's happening again, she says, breath shaking. Jalen doesn't speak, just stares. He'd seen tech, weapons, implants, upgrades, but nothing like this. The light inside her wasn't artificial. It was alive. Flashback, Arya's memory, white walls, cold air, metal beds, children in cages. A scientist's voice. This one is stable. Chip accepted the nerve root. Heart is sinking. Could load her with Codnol. She carry it until activation. Her young self screamed. A blue light burned across her arm for the first time. They didn't comfort her. They took notes. Back to the cave. President Jalen's voice breaks the silence. What exactly is inside you? Arya swallows. They call it a digital plague. Once released, it spreads through military systems, turns weapons off, or turns them against their owners. A virus. No worse. It's alive. It adapts, grows, it can learn. Yolan steps back. So if it gets out, she nods. A war ends in hours. He rubs his face. Is that why your people sent you here? No, she says softly. They never wanted it released. They wanted to hide it. Inside me. Until the right time. Then why are they hunting you? Because I ran before they could control it. Cut 2. A moving dropship in the sky. A masked figure reads a message. Asset still alive. Code inside body confirmed. Mission updated. Bring her back. Alive. No matter the cost. They close the message and load a tranquilizer. Rifle. Back to the cave. Arya stumbles. The glow in her body spreads from her arm to her chest. It's growing. She gasps. Jalen scans her again. His device beeps in stable tech signal. He looks at her. If this thing activates inside you, I die, she says calmly. So does everyone near me. Yalan kneels beside her. You need it out. There's no way, she says. It's inside my nerves. My blood. I've broken into more than a few labs, he says. If we find the right place, maybe we can shut it down. Arya's voice is small. Why are you still helping me? He answers without looking at her. Because if someone had helped my daughter, maybe she'd still be alive. Arya stares at him. And for the first time he sees tears in her eyes. They rise together. Yolan marks a point on his map. There's a tech vault 2 zones south of here. Old military facility. Abandoned. Might still have the tools we need. Arya nods. Let's go before I glow like a bomb. Cut 2. Deep in the jungle they travel through vines and ruins. Birds scatter. Strange sounds echo. Arya's light flickers under her skin like fireflies. Are you afraid of me? She asks. Jalen walks beside her. I'm afraid for you. Not of you. She holds that answer in her chest, like a warm stone. Suddenly nets fly in ambush. 3 bounty hunters drop from the trees. Don't move. One yells, hand over the girl. Yalan fires. To fall. The third stabs his leg. Arya screams. Her light flares. The air trembles. Yalan yells, no, control it. She drops to her knees, breath shaking. The chip inside her wants to release. She screams, "I'm not a weapon," and the light stops. Yalan limps over, grabs her hand. "You're not," he says. "You're a survivor." Arya lies on a cold metal table. Wires around her arms. Light pulsing under her skin. A machine scans her body, searching for the chip. Inside Jalen stands behind a cracked glass window, fists clenched. His voice is in her ear. "I'm right here. You're not alone." 12 hours earlier, before it all went wrong, they had reached the old tech vault. The gates were half buried in vines. Rusted metal doors groaned as Yalan pried them open. Inside, silence. Dust in the air. Old screens. Dead machines. But deep below the ground, there was still power. Jalen knew the layout. He had raided places like this during the war. "This place was used to erase dangerous tech," he said. Arya nodded. "Then maybe it can erase what's inside me." Deeper inside the vault, they reached the metal. Yalan turned on the system using emergency power. Sparks flew, screens blinked. He hooked up his old military tablet. Hacking in, it worked. "One chance," he said. "We triggered the cleaning sequence. It will try to remove the chip. And if it fails," she asked, "it could kill you, or everyone else." She whispered. She climbed onto the table, and smiled. "Let's finish this." Back to present. The machine is scanning her brain. Araya's body shakes. The code inside her is reacting. Too fast. Too strong. Sirens begin to flash red. Error code null. Activating. Jalen slams his hand on the console. "Override it." System locked. The computer replies. He pulls out a tool. Slices wires. Sparks. Nothing. The system keeps going. Arya screams. The light under her skin turns bright blue. Her heartbeat races. The code wants out. Yalan makes a decision. He turns. Runs to the storage room. Finds the injection tool. One use only. Inside a nanovirus built to destroy foreign tech. He reads the warning label. "Do not inject in humans. Fatal." Jalan doesn't hesitate. He grabs it. Runs back. Arya is crying now. "It's taking over. I can feel it in my head." Jalan leans over her. "I'm going to stop it. But it might hurt." "I don't want to lose you," she whispers. "You won't," he says. He injects the virus into himself. Silence. Then the lights dim. The machine shuts down. The glow inside. Araya's body begins to fade. Jalen steps back, breathing hard, but blood runs. From his nose he falls. Arya screams his name. She gets off the table, shaking. "What did you do?" "It needed a signal blocker." He coughs. "Something the chip would follow." "So you made yourself the target," she yells. He smiles weakly. "Better me than you." Outside alert. Goes off in the enemy. Ship above. Signal spike. Target code is moving. Wait, it's not the girl, it's the man. The commander frowns. He absorbed the chip. Or tricked it. Either way, we've got 5 minutes before it breaks out again. Back in the vault, Jalan's breathing is slow. His eyes flicker. "You have to run," he says. "I'm not leaving you," Arya says. "You don't get it," he growls. "I'm the weapon now." He places something in her hand, his old ID chip. "Use this. Get into the evac pod. Get off this planet." "I'm not going without you," she says again. "You're not a project anymore. You're a person. You're free now." Arya cries silently. Then kisses his forehead. "You saved me. Even when I didn't believe I was worth it." He smiles faintly. "That's what makes you human." She runs. Through smoke. Through fire. Up the vault. Every system is failing. The chip inside, Yalan begins to burn, but he stays. He watches the timer count down. A voice in his head says, "Code, null transfer complete. Containment, unstable." He smiles. "Come on, old tech, take me. With you." Above the planet, a bright flash, one burst of blue light. Then silence. The vault is gone. Arya stares out. The window of the ship stars blur as she moves through deep space. She doesn't speak. She doesn't blink. In her hand, Jalen's old ID chip. In her heart, the weight of what he did. Behind her, a small screen flashes a message. Wanted. Human male. Exposure. Charges. Harboring a biotech asset. Status. Deceased. Final label. Traitor. She turns the screen off. 2 days earlier, evacuation ship. Orbiting debris field. The vault was gone. Jalen was gone. But she was alive. The emergency escape pod had auto-docked with an old mining cruiser. No crew. Just machines. Arya lay in the dark for hours. Silent, eyes open. You're free now, he had said. But freedom felt like a prison. Now inside the ship's memory logs. She connects Jalen's ID chip to the ship's console. It unlocks a message. His voice plays calm, quiet, full of that tired kindness. If you're hearing this, it means I didn't make it. I knew that was a risk. I made peace with it. Don't carry guilt. Carry purpose. You were never just cargo, or code, or a weapon. You were someone who needed a second chance. Her breath shakes. Tears fall. But she lets the message finish. Live. That's all I want from you. Live well. Cut to Arya stepping off the ship on a new colony. Different sky. Different people. No alarms. No bounty alerts. No soldiers. Just wind and quiet. She walks to a town border station. The officer looks up, confused. No ID. She places chip on the desk. He was my guardian. Is he alive? No. Relation. Arya pauses, smiles, then says firmly, family. Flashback montage. Yalin. And Arya. Him handing her a blanket. In part 2. Teaching her how to use a blade. Fighting beside her. Injecting himself to save her. Smiling weakly as he told her to run. Each image flashes. Like memory fire. And then fades. Back to the colony, the officer hands her temporary ID papers. You'll need to build a life here. She nods. I already started. Scene. Arya opens a workshop in the colony's tech quarter. She repairs things. Droids. Comes. Satellite tools. People come to her now for help. For advice. She doesn't glow anymore. But something inside her still burns. Not the chip. The promise. Final scene. Years later, Arya sits with a small child, blue-skinned, like her, on her lap. The child points to a cracked photo frame on the shelf. A photo of a rough-looking human man with a scar. Who's that? The child asks. Arya smiles softly, like it still hurts, but also like it matters. That's the one who saved me. Was he your dad? She nods slowly. Not by blood. Then what was he? Arya looks out the window. He was human. The best kind. They called him a traitor. But I called him family.